All right, folks, we're back, and I've already cooked them. Now, I said about 18 to 20 minutes, but they only took anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes because I had the fire as high as I can, the steaming temperature, and you don't want to overcook them. So the hard shell lobsters, the bigger ones, they don't all the time always turn completely red. These are also hard shell, but they turned completely red with a little dark pigment on the sides. But these ones stay black because they're extremely hard shell. These are older lobsters, so they don't turn completely red all the time. And you can see by the look of this guy's claw right here, he's an old guy. He's been around for a long time. So those shells are really, I mean, you can hear that. They're really hard. So they don't turn all the way red, but they are fully cooked. So what I'm going to do now is I got some butter that I'm going to warm up, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this guy open. One of his claws fell off over there, but I'm still going to show you guys just what it looks like when you take the meat out of the lobster and what it should look like. So I'm going to grab a plate so that we can see exactly what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and probably taste it a little bit. My sister actually prefers my shrimp than she does my lobster, so I don't know if she'll be game to taste any, but I will go ahead and heat up that butter, and I'm going to put it over there, and I'm going to show you guys how I get into the claw meat. We can take off the band first of all, so that it is just the band. It doesn't take long to heat up butter in the microwave. It's the only thing I use a microwave for is to heat up butter. And so I'm going to show you guys, first of all, how I get into the body. This is how I do it. I like to open up my tail, and this is how you know that the lobster's cooked well, because the tail has a very nice spring back. If you open it up and it doesn't spring back, and you haven't seen it before it was cooked and it wasn't alive.
Can I get around you?
Yeah, you can come on this side.
Yeah.
It wasn't alive before it was cooked. So you just start right there on the tail and just come on down. And then you do the same thing coming the other way. Just put it right through, even a hard shell, and it'll open up just like that. So this is a male, like I told you guys. Here's that hard part, and there's the green molly that I was talking about. So to actually get your meat out of your lobster, your body, you can actually use, if you're going to make a bisque, or if you just want to kind of pick at that back fin meat. There's meat up in that body, but the tail is what most people really want. So now you can just take your finger and pull the tail out, and you get that vein. There's the vein. That's how it eats and digests its food. So that's a nice clean half of a tail. We'll go ahead and put that to the side, and here's the other half, and you can just kind of go inside of it and get that vein out, because you don't want the vein because it's going to be sandy. It's what they eat. And here's the other side of the tail. Now, one of the hardest parts for you guys to actually try to get out of is the claw. So if you guys want to see how I do it, I take my let me get my towel and start with a clean knife. I take my claw, and what I'm gonna do is, because the shell is brittle, I'm gonna now, if you don't use one of your good knives, use a knife that is pretty solid, but you don't mind if it chips. This is a solid knife, and I know that I'm not gonna be chipping anything hard. It's a little soft in this area, so once I chop in, it's gonna crack right open. And if you guys can see, here's a beautiful piece of claw meat, and there's a bone that goes inside of a little filament bone that all the claws have, that's connected to the underside of the claw. The claws like that, that's the underside. So if you pull that underside, you get the whole claw. There's your claw. Now, I do the same thing with the knuckle. I cracked it, twisted it, and there's the knuckle meat. That's a piece of the knuckle. And then you have one more piece of knuckle meat. And so be very careful, guys. You can use a mallet if you want to. You can use a mallet or anything that you're comfortable with, but just be really careful when you're doing this because you don't want to chop your fingers. If you're not comfortable with your knife, I wouldn't suggest doing it that way. See, I just cracked that, and that just came right loose, right there. That's all your meat. That's all your lobster meat. So now I'm gonna, you don't have to dip it in butter, but I usually like to dip mine in butter a little bit. Oh my word. That is absolutely delicious. That is phenomenal. That is really, really good, guys. You can also, saute it in butter with some garlic if you want. I'm going to try the tail piece now. Dip it in butter. Excuse my hands, guys, but I'm a hands-on kind of guy. And that is absolutely delicious. That's how you take your meat out of your lobster. You have your claw and you have your tail. And they're just, it's so delicious. You don't want to overcook. That's perfectly cooked. It's just so melt in your mouth delicious. I can't get enough of that, guys. That's wonderful. But thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to leave comments, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and take all this meat out. This is going to a dear brother, Gary, good friend. We're going to see just what he thinks of this. I'm sure he's going to really love it. He's a lobster lover, like most of us in Maine. But yeah, really, guys, thank you for tuning in. And we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.